back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an updated brow tutorial for you, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade in medium brown. Now that my hair is a little bit lighter, I can use the medium brown. Otherwise, when I have normal dark hair or black hair, I use the dark brown or ebony, which work the same. So this is my favorite brow product because it literally lasts all day, and it doesn't matter how oily your skin is, this stuff does not move. So I'm going to show you how I apply this because a lot of people have trouble with the pomade. I'm also going to show you how I brush through my brows, how I put on brow gel to make them a lot thicker and look really natural, and I'm also going to show you how to buff out the front of your brows to get that ombre look so that your brows don't look drawn on like Sharpie brows, because that is not cute. So if you want to know how I get my natural looking brows, and by the way, I have no brows to begin with, and you'll see that, then just keep watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye. Mwah. So I'm going to start with this double-sided Sonia Kashuk eyebrow brush, and I'm going to take the brush side and just make sure that my eyebrows are laying nicely before I go in with my dip brow. So I'm just going to brush them up and then to the side. And I'm using the Anastasia Dipbrow in medium brown, which I love because it stays all day, it's totally waterproof, and it can look really natural if you're just using a tiny bit and you're using it in the right way. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use this angled eyeliner brush from e.l.f. And this brush is awesome. It only costs $3, and it's just great for the brows. And I'm going to start basically by outlining the bottom part of my brows. And I'm just at this point laying down the shape. So I take the product immediately to the bottom of the brows, as you can see, and I'm just outlining the shadow of what I want the brow to look like. As there's less and less product, I will start to move upwards and actually start to outline the top part of the brow. But if you do this right away, it'll look really unnatural, because if you put the product at the top of the brow, you'll see those product lines, and if you see the lines, then it just looks really unnatural. So just make sure you are outlining, keeping it darkest towards the bottom, and then buffing upwards as you have less and less product on your brush. So this is what they look like currently. And another tip is it's really important to keep the darkest part of your brow towards the arch, and so I always darken the arch and make sure that it lightens up towards the front of the brow and towards the tail. So you want the arch to be the darkest, you want the front of your brow towards the center of your face to be the lightest. Then I'm going to take a second brush, and I always do this, and it's a fluffier angled brush from Revlon, and I'm going to take it vertically and just buff out that harsh edge at the front of my brow. Then I'm going to flip the brush and start to buff out horizontally just to take out all of those product lines. So you can see that there's like product, you can tell that there's like a difference between my brows and the product up there, and so what I do is I take the brush and I buff out any of those obvious lines. So I'll flip it between horizontal and vertical just depending on what I want to do. So this is what the brows look like. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other brow. I'm going to map out the shape of my brow, again starting from the bottom, so taking a tiny bit of product and mapping out the bottom. That's where you want it to look the darkest. It looks the most natural when the shadow is towards the bottom. And then as we have less and less product on the brush, we start to buff it upwards and towards the front of the brow. So as I get to my arch, I sort of round it off. I don't like a really sharp arch, so as you can see, I try to make my brow arch to be rounded so that it's not too square at the end. I got this idea from Kathleen Lights because her brows have that sort of rounded arch, which I really like, and again is pretty natural. So as you can see, I'm just making sure that it's all buffed out. I go in with the second brush again, and I buff out the front, and then I flip the brush horizontally once again, making sure that I'm buffing out any of those lines. So if I can see product with it where there's no hair, then I'm going to buff it out because I want it to look natural. Then I'm taking the Milani Brow and Eye Highlight, and I love this because I really don't like concealing. I think it's just too much for day to day. And what this does is just it lifts the eyebrow area. So I just put some down and I blend it in, and it ends up really highlighting that area, kind of like any powder would do, except I don't know, just stays on longer and I really like it. Okay, so this is what they look like so far. As you can see, no obvious product lines. And then I'm going to go in with the Glossier Boy Brow, which is my current favorite brow gel. And I'm taking that Sonia Kashuk brush once again, and I'm just going to brush out my brows, upwards most importantly, towards the center. So here's another tip to making your eyebrows look really full. Brush your eyebrows up towards the center, like towards the very center of your brows, and then brush them down towards the tail. So I'm going to take this brow gel, and as you can see, I'm really targeting those front hairs, because if you do that, they'll look a lot fluffier and thicker, and again, they'll just look like your brows, and you want them to look as natural as possible. So I'm just brushing them upwards and making sure that they are coated, and I'm going along here, and then I will start to brush them downwards once I get to the bottom of the brow. As you can see, brushing them down. So this is what they look like now, and as you can see like the individual hairs, which is what we like because it keeps it natural and fluffy. So this is the final look.
Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. So this is what the finished brows look like with my eye makeup done. And as you can see, they definitely look more filled in and fluffier and actually still pretty natural. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment below, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.